Guys, I'm going to shift mine up a little bit. I know originally I had picked Sierra Leone as my top pick, but since everyone else picked them, I'm going to pick him as my alternate at the end. So if he draws in based on my picks, so be it. But I'm going to go with a couple of them that are a little bit different, a little off the beaten path. Honor Marie, I believe that that somebody else picked him, Ren picked him, later on in her pool. But I really like the fact that a horse like this is going to be running in the Derby. It's a great story. He was a modestly bred horse, modestly purchased for $40,000. So much so that he actually broke his maiden in an auction maiden race at Churchill, and then went and finished second in an allowance race, and then of course won the Grade 2 Kentucky Jockey Club stake in November, Thanksgiving weekend, also at Churchill Downs. So he's got a lot going for him. It's a great story. It's a Disney-esque kind of story. He's won here at Churchill Downs. Yes, his rider is a little bit inexperienced at this level. The trainer, you could say, is a little bit inexperienced, but in reality, Whit Beckman worked for Chad Brown, worked for Todd Pletcher, worked for Owen Hardy, and, oh, by the way, also spent 2 stints over in Saudi Arabia. So he definitely knows what he's doing, albeit first time on this stage. But I think that the horse is sneaky good and is a late May foal. So he's not even, 3 years old technically on the, by calendar. So it'll be interesting to see if he continues to improve and develop. But I have Honor Marie first, right next to him, just a touch. I know that horse is precocious, has tactical speed. He's bred to run long, Justify out of a Tappet mare. He's got a great trainer in Brad Cox. And the other thing that I think is interesting with him is that he's improved a lot every single race. He's only run 3 times. Technically, he's an A other than, but there have been a lot of horses, especially of late, that have run well in the Derby. Mage, for example, was an A other than when he won the Derby. So there's history that shows that you don't have to be heavily raced in order to be the best horse the first Saturday in May. Follow that up with some horses on the almost extreme outside. I have the 18. Yes, I've passed Fierceness and gone even further outside. The 18, Stronghold, who is 20-1 in your program, but I think is going to be coming on at the end. A ghost zapper, knows no distance barriers. He's going to be able to run, far and long. And I don't think being on the outside is necessarily detrimental to him. 6 starts, 3 wins, 3 seconds. And the thing that I like so much about Stronghold is if you watch his races, he is like a bull. He makes his own lane when he's passing horses. He doesn't wait for the seas to open and runs through. He bullies his way through and gives himself a chance to win. And I just think that's going to be important when you have to do that against 18 or 19 other horses in the race. He's going to have to weave through some traffic, and having the ability to kind of push through physically is a really good attribute to have. One thing I don't like about him is you got to question what he beat out in California. He did, run some races out west. You question how good were those fields, but coming into this race, I really feel like that this son of Ghost Zapper is going to do well. That leads me to one more horse on the outside, Resilience, who I really want to see hit the board and if not win, if for no other reason, because he ran in New York and won. Bill Mott is the trainer. Junior Alvarado, I think, is one of the least respected of the top jockeys that are out there. So I think he's going to be very thrilled to take over for Johnny Velasquez in the irons for Resilience. And Joe, you've mentioned this before, and I'm a big believer in this now. When a horse has a change of equipment, whether it's blinkers on, blinkers off, change of shoes, Lasix, what have you, when he improves dramatically from that change of equipment, the second time around, you think it's only going to help him that much more. And that's what Resilience did when he went from finishing 4th in the Risen Star to winning the Wood Memorial in a hand ride with the blinkers on. I really feel like Resilience is going to be able to overcome that way outside post. And then I mentioned before, we're going to have Sierra Leone as my alternative in case one of those other 4 horses gets scratched. So, Julia, we got the 7, 8, 18, 19 with the 2 as my also eligible. That is my box for the contest.